The UN mission is made up of 10,000 troops, but was unable to intervene in the battles in Juba between forces loyal to President Salva Kiir and others who back the former first Vice President Riek Machar. Both sides are equipped with heavy weapons, including tanks and helicopters. Now, joining me in the studio is Brian Adeba, with South Sudan political analyst from Enough Project. Brian, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the fighting that's going on. Even though we understand that Juba is relatively calm today, but there have been pockets and reports of fighting here and there, some between the forces loyal to Salva Kiir and Riek Machar. What do we make of this?
That itself is an indication of an escalation in the violence that's taking place. There are reports of fighting around Juba, around the stronghold where Riek Machar comes from, and it is a very worrying sign for the peace agreement.
Definitely. Do we even know where Riek Machar is as of today?
Absolutely. We don't have an idea. He has said that he is around Juba, but no one knows exactly where he is. He's spoken to reporters via phone, but his location remains unknown.
And when you look at one of the issues happening, lately is the resignation of Lama Cole, the Agriculture and Food Security Minister, who says the country has kind of headed to the collapse. He is no longer there. He has left for Addis Ababa. Is this a sign that Salva Kiir's government is headed for a total collapse?
No, not really, because Salva Kiir, Lama Cole, sorry, is a member of the cabinet from a very small party that came into the cabinet because of the peace agreement. The collapse of the government because of that withdrawal is being overstated, I think.
And there are a lot of questions surrounding the legality of appointing or replacing Riek Machar with Taban Dengai as the first vice president. What do we know about that? What does this mean actually for the peace agreement?
Well, it means a lot in terms of who actually gets to control the SPLM opposition forces. Is it Taban Dengai? Does this appointment make him the overall commander of the SPLM-IO, or is it Riek Machar? To date, the details on that are very unclear, unless I think Taban can prove that he has the support of the IO troops. Then we can say that he is in control. Likewise for Riek Machar.
And again, let me, quoting the Festus Mohai, the chairman of the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, he says the country's economy continues to head to a complete failure. And when you look at that, you wonder what's going on with the common South Sudanese person. There are so many that have been displaced. Others are dead already. What does this mean? Or what can the regional leaders do to stop further deterioration of the situation in South Sudan?
I think the leaders have been slow in responding to the crisis. To the best of my knowledge, I think that the escalation deserves more stringent intervention and dialogue and interaction, and I think we've not seen that. We've just seen a little bit of a reaction when they said they were going to send in, they were considering sending in a buffer force, and that died down. And I think that at this point it is very crucial that the IGAD countries step in with a reinforced interaction to bring both sides together. Otherwise, we're going to see a complete deterioration in the peace agreement.
You know, Brian, we had a congressional hearing on South Sudan just before the renewed peace deal between Riek Machar and Salva Kiir. And now, from Enough Project, I read that South Sudan is headed to a political suicide. Is that your take?
Absolutely.
Is there a way of stopping this?
It is our belief that right now South Sudan is sitting on top of a cliff. All it requires is a small nudge and it will fall over the cliff. And when that happens, we'll have a scenario like Somalia in 1990 plus Rwanda in 1994, because what's going to happen is the ethnic fabric that has been holding the country together has deteriorated considerably. And we will have a scenario where there will be targeted killings of people based on ethnicity, and this is a scenario that we should all not look forward to.
And quickly, if Riek Machar returns, what next?
That's still up in the air whether he will return or not. Taban Dengai has said that he will step down, but that remains to be seen.
All right, Brian. Brian, thank you very much for your insight. Brian Adeba is a South Sudan analyst with Enough Project.